Ready to go? All right, ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Carl?
I was born ready.
No, you were not.
Yeah, well,
no, you were not. I'm super excited, man. Today is, normally we do the show, we'll do like Boondock Underground, and we have our sports, we have our politics show, we have a bunch of different shows.
Yeah.
Today, I think we're gonna throw it out. We're gonna put it across all mediums, right?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Does that mean I can't swear?
I wouldn't. I mean, you can, since you already did, but I would, from this point on, I'm going to start deducting out of your paycheck.
Okay,
bro.
that's fair.
All right, so you'll be sub at the end of this thing. I'm excited, man, because I have one of my favorite dudes of all time here, Carl.
Yes, that's me.
But even more so, one of my most favorite dudes in the world is Marcus Allen, and he's here today. Give it up for Marcus!
Yes.
And also my man Cameron Matthews is here. Now, if you don't know who Cameron Matthews is right this second, you will in about 15 minutes, because we're going to exactly tell you everything about Cameron, and we're going to tell you why Mark is here. But the biggest reason is because we're celebrating this big new movie that just came out, Notorious Nick. It's a true story about Nick Newell. We'll get into it in just a few minutes, but just in case you haven't seen the previews and you haven't checked out the trailer, here it is right here.
Come on, move it like you mean it.
Wrestle, Nick.
Nick, let me show you. You only need your right hand to pull this off. Yep. Not bad.
So this is mixed martial arts?
We're not MMA fighters.
But we're wrestlers. The best foundation to start with.
He's pinned.
Hey, you here for the tryouts?
I can't fight this guy.
Nice going. I watch you train every day.
I won't give up.
You ready?
You can go pro.
Yes!
This kid's the real deal. Every fighter that he's taken on has been legit. And he has not lost.
I can't stop.
You're a sideshow. You're giving real fighters a bad name.
Sideshow's about to beat your ass.
The XFC is denying your right to fight.
I want to be heard.
Nick's a contender for the title. This is his shot.
He's proven that he can handle it.
No, let me.
Nick has the right to have the career he wants to pursue.
If you love something, you have to work twice as hard as everyone else.
Nick Newell against Rich Reynolds for the lightweight championship belt.
Stop me now. Fight.
I didn't come this far to lose.
Remember what we practiced.
Stand up for yourself.
You can do it, Nick!
How many punches am I gonna have to take before I get him to the ground?
A few. But you got a thick skull.
All right. What did you think about the trailer?
Dude, that was so sick.
Right?
I really need to see this.
You do.
Oh my
you really
God.
do. You didn't get a chance to come to the big premiere.
I didn't. I'm so bummed, man.
That's all right. That's all right. But we did go to the premiere just the other night. Marcus Allen, producer of the movie Notorious Nick. Man, how in the heck did you get involved with this movie, man?
Man, it all started because I got arrested for driving. Laugh as we may, it changed my life. So I'm just putting out, let me start with the PSA.
That's my nervous laugh.
If you think you have a problem with something or bad habits, get them out of the way.
Sure.
Good things will come. PSA done.
Yeah, there you go. So we did talk about it a little bit off the air. So you did go through this little thing where you had a little bit of a situation, and you were given some vacation time,
right?
And then you went ahead and picked up this project, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about the project.
All right. So some friends of mine, Joe Carnahan, who makes movies, called and said, "Dude, you should start thinking about making movies instead of talking about them." And then he put that seed out into the universe. And then Howard Bird, a mutual friend of ours, called. He was just coming off Mother's Day. $25 million movie. Jennifer Aniston, Kate Hudson, lots of other great. Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah,
crushing find it right now. And said, hey, I got this project called Notorious Nick. Would you like to be involved with it? And so I jumped on. He allowed me to be a minuscule, tiny associate producer on it. And the godfather of the movie is also Mark DeSalle, who brought MMA to America audiences with Bloodsport when he started out.
Yeah.
So they brought me aboard the team, and lo and behold, here we are talking about a movie we made 4 years later.
It's not just that, though, Carl. My man Mark is being very, very. He's playing down his role in the movie,
being humble,
because it wasn't just producer. My man was acting in the movie too.
Oh, snap!
Yes.
Yeah?
So explain how it is that you were able to get, because I heard through the grapevine, also you telling somebody, I overheard that, was that you weren't originally going to be in the movie as one of the announcers. How'd that go down?
That's right, and I was acting because I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. Oh, wait, look at what you started.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
You're allowed to say whatever you want, Mark.
No, the way you guys are able to edit it in there with that board, like it sounded like I just dropped the F-bomb. That was seamless.
You know how I do.
So the actual announcer of the match, and by the way, if you haven't seen it, just Google Notorious Nick wins the world championship. That guy was going to be the announcer. And then a few days before, some negotiations went sideways. We said, the hell of it. You just jump in there. So I jumped in. And it's acting because I don't know what the hell I was talking about.
I thought you did really, really good.
Look, he's got him in a rear naked choke.
Yeah, the rear naked choke sounded like you might have just heard that term just before they turned the cameras on.
Right.
Hey, but other than that, you and Gary Gelfand knocked it out of the park, man. Plus, you guys look good on screen.
Nah, but Gary's my boy. Gary and I have been hanging out for years. We used to do Good Evening Sacramento together. Yeah. Haven't worked together for years, and then to get to hang out like that. Like I said at the premiere, Gary, like 3 days after wrapping that role, found out that he had leukemia. Second bout.
Yeah,
survival rate's not that great.
No, not when you're an adult.
And here he is doing great.
I know. Have you heard about how he's coming along now? Is he's in full remission or what?
Yeah, he's done.
Dude, that's amazing.
Like
that's huge.
kind of the side effects from the medications are starting to go away. He's doing great.
That's awesome.
I probably shouldn't be speaking for him. I probably just violated all kinds of HIPAA.
There's some HIPAA laws. No, you know what? As long as he's vaccinated, it's all good.
He's all good.
One of the stars in the movie was this kid who jumped off the screen. I always wanted to say that. I don't know if it really happened, but I always wanted to say it. I'm not kidding around. Cameron Matthews, who plays, is it Abby? Is it, he play Abby? Abby. Either way, I'm watching it, and you like completely took over you took over the film. Like for you were like in for the first full half of the film. And we won't tell anybody what happens, but he's in the movie, and just from the very beginning, bro, you commanded the screen. Now, when you were reading for that part and you were filming that part, did it feel like that, or were you like a little bit nervous about the whole thing?
Yeah, I just want to let the audience know I did pay him $20 to say that first part. So
20? You gave me a 10, dog.
We'll talk about
my money. Yeah, hook it up.
No, man, it was an honor to play that role, especially because the man he was an actual person. You know? And I think when you get roles like that, every role you take serious, especially when it's somebody who was on this earth and has a family and really made an impact. So I took that role with knowing the weight that came from behind it and knowing how important he was. I never got to meet the man, unfortunately, but I know the impact that he made on the main character, on the lead, just because I got to see a little bit behind the scenes about Nick Newell. And I got the vibe from him, man. And when you read his script, it's your job as the artist, as the actor, to take those lines and make it an actual thing, to create with it. So I was lucky too, because I had such a, you said it, so I'm gonna start with the two. I had such a badass cast with me. Like I got to work with some amazing.
Let it fly, dog.
Yeah, man, come on, press the buttons. I told you DJing over here. Let's go. I had such an amazing cast, so it came natural. And and I put a lot of work in. I've been at this for 10 years, so it's my background's theater, and when you're on stage, there's no cuts, there's no timeouts. Yeah. You got to live in those moments.
Yeah.
And I like to take that with me whenever I perform. And man, I like to live in the moment.
Well, was do you prefer theater, or do you prefer movies?
That's a great question. You know, theater's always going to be my heart. It's where I started. It's where I got my start. I will always give it to theater for that. I think it's probably the true. And I know I'm gonna start some stuff with this. I think it's the truest form of acting. But I love me some film.
Yeah,
it's the machine behind it. There's so many pieces cogs to this wheel.
Right.
And when it comes together like we just did with Notorious Nick, it's to watch it on a big old screen like that, and like have your family with you. You don't always get to do that with theater, and this will live forever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. And we're gonna come back and talk with Cameron some more about his role, but I was really struck by how good your performance was, man.
Thanks,
seriously, I was like, and then when I saw you after, I was like, oh shit, it's him. There he is.
I'm here, guys.
I mean, and I was like, and I've interviewed, Mark knows, we've interviewed like every star on planet Earth, but I was like, oh, I was starstruck. I'm like, this dude was really good, man. You just don't see that every day. All right,
another $20.
I'll gush over you a little bit later. So for people who don't quite know, because when does the movie open up in theaters?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Are we saying? I mean, because we're recording this, so are we talking about tomorrow? Or
yeah. Well, it opens this weekend, right?
Yeah. now streaming everywhere.
Yeah.
Shipping in theaters.
Explain to everybody what the base of the movie is, basically.
All right, so Nick Newell was born with a congenital amputation. That means missing most of one of his arms.
Yeah.
Definitely no hand. So if you're going to be a wrestler, that's a huge setback.
Yeah.
Maybe.
His mom was a single mom, just trying to do the best she could to get him through life. And so this movie is more of a mother-son against the world, more Blindside than it is an MMA film.
Dope.
Although it's very pure, very orthodox in its approach to MMA, it's also very much a mother-son against the world and about friendship.
Yeah, I did notice that the action in it is legit. It's real. I mean, you feel like you're in an actual MMA fight, which is good, because sometimes if it's too choreographed or you don't have the right people involved, it can look a little cheesy and it comes off bad, or they go too heavy on one side of the story. I thought this one really struck the balance of having that relationship with best friend, mom, and then later on with dad and with coach, and then with actual having like real MMA type fights and having that action. And I thought the touch with his dad was pretty cool there as well. And then when the coach, at first, I can't give it away, but at first it looked like the coach was going to dog him, and then the coach came around. That was just it was almost emotional for me. I don't allow myself to cry, but I almost did.
Well, you don't have any emotions. So
I know. That's what I'm saying. All right, here's what we're gonna do. So we got some special guests that are gonna come on the show as well. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll thank our sponsors and everything else, and then we'll come right back in just a few minutes with Cameron Matthews and Mark S. Allen from the brand new movie Notorious Nick. Make sure you keep it right here. Hey, what's up? It's Boondock. I need you to check out Milestone. Milestone is by far the best place for brunch on the weekends or lunch during the week. Whether it's a consistently changing interpretation of fried chicken and waffles, or classics like fried green tomatoes, fish and chips, or probably the best damn selection of salads that you've ever seen. Seriously, take my word for it. Milestone is the community's gathering place for brunch, lunch, and dinner. And you should definitely check out the cocktail bar for the best Bloody Marys or Tiki Tuesday. Go check them out. Milestone, inside Town Center in El Dorado Hills. We're back. We are here talking about the brand new movie Notorious Nick, out in theaters. You can stream it, check it out. We have producer Mark S. Allen. Probably haven't heard of him before, especially if you're local in this area. You haven't had a chance to hear from him before.
Look at the crime blotter. You'll see my name pop up from time to time. It's there.
YouTube it. You'll be able to see. And we have Cameron Matthews here as well, who's one of the stars of the film, who I thought stole the film, and I'm still waiting for my other 20.
I know.
And
Venmo.
Yeah, please do. And joining us on the phone right now, this is the man. This is the person who the movie was actually about.
Ladies and gentlemen, Notorious Nick Newell!
Let's get it.
Notorious Nick. Man, it's going really good. So, Nick, I had a chance to check out this movie last night, and I have to say, I knew about your story before the movie. And then watching the movie, I really got to get a real appreciation for what you accomplished and what you did in the sport. Tell me, when they first approached you about doing this story about you on the big screen, what were your thoughts? What went through your mind?
Hey, I thought it was fake. I thought someone was playing a joke on me. And then obviously, I went back with my people that were close to me, and I was like, oh man, these guys really are like who they say they are. And they've done some pretty amazing films and got a lot of great work done. So I started watching some of the other movies. Obviously, I've seen Bloodsport, I've seen Kickboxer. I watched 4 Minute Mile, and I just really liked a lot of the stuff. I was like, this is great, and we figured something out that worked for us. And I said, hey, let's get this going.
When you were watching the movie, did you at any point ever get emotional about the movie?
I mean, obviously it's kind of weird seeing a movie about yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously there were parts where it got me a little choked up, brought back some memories, and it's surreal. The whole process is really pretty surreal.
Talking with Nick Newell, who is the whole point of this movie, Notorious Nick. The movie is about him. It's his life. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, you'll get a chance to check it out now. Notorious Nick. Nick, when you won that bout, the one that they showed in the movie at the end, tell us what was going through your mind, because we saw the emotion that came out, and I thought the actor captured it pretty well. But what was the emotion going through your head?
Yeah, I was like, if you watch it, so the guy in the movie is Rich Reynolds, right? And he's a big time jerk, a big like movie bad guy. The guy in real life, Eric Reynolds, is actually a pretty nice guy.
Oh yeah,
but he's actually a really top notch guy. But obviously it's a movie, so he'll understand, But he was scary. He was scary in the fact that that he had been on a really hot streak. He just beat a jiu-jitsu world champion. He beat a guy that was a top level striker in a kickboxing match, and he's been in there with the best in the world. He fought Eddie Alvarez, who was a UFC champion, went to the third, George Masvidal, third round, and when I beat him, it was like I beat him quick. I beat him faster than anyone, and I surprised myself. Honestly, like my coaches told me what I was gonna do and how it was gonna go down, and I trust them, But like still, sometimes you just have that little bit of nerves. This is a very dangerous man I'm staring across the cage at, and it was like a ball of emotions when I got done, because I was like, holy crap, like I did it. Like I wasn't even sure to myself that I'd be able to do it, and I got it done. So I was in a little bit of shock.
When you were growing up and you had to deal with adversity and, kids maybe being cruel to you and things like that, were there times, the movie suggests that there are times when you wanted to give up, and I got to imagine that has to be the case. Were there times when you wanted to give up? And if that's the case, what is it that kept you going along?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. The prosthetic arm part and was true, and the kid making fun of me at wrestling was true. And, those were very like things that stick out to me still to this day. I was like trying to just get along in wrestling practice and just be treated like a normal person. And I had this guy calling me elbow and making fun of me. And I'm at the park and some guy says he doesn't want me playing with my brother because I have one hand. Jeez. Or playing with his brother, and it's like, even though I was little, all those things like kind of resonated with me. And I was like, what do you mean? Because my whole life, I was lucky enough to have some pretty good people around me that didn't treat me any different or didn't look at me like, or didn't baby me because I had one hand or shelter me. I was allowed to go out and get dirty and get hurt and do things that normal kids do. So when these people are telling me I can't be something or can't do something because of the way I was born, it was abnormal to me. I didn't get like pep talks growing up, like, you can do anything you want, you can do this. I just assumed, you know, I looked on TV, I saw Jim Abbott, and I was like, hey man, this guy's out here doing it, so can I.
That's awesome.
Hey, Nick, it's Mark. I just want to thank you again for giving us the opportunity to tell your story. Keith was talking to stars earlier and about how nervous he was with this particular situation. Same thing. We talked to all of these big Hollywood stars. I've never been more nervous than I was when I flew out to Connecticut to meet you for the first time. And like, I'm trying to warm you up and say, I've done stuff. I used to have my own show on Comedy Central.
Yep.
And the first thing he said was, but you're not funny. Do you remember that by chance?
Yeah, I was telling the jokes.
You are ridiculously funny. People need to know that about you. Something else that struck me about you, people that I look up to are people that have the same friends when they've done big things in life that they had when they were kids. They haven't shed them. They keep those people around. And you're that kind of guy. So you were nice enough to invite me to hang out with you and some friends and just kind of a friend and family get-together one time. I'm wondering, what was their reaction when the trailer dropped and they saw your life story about to blow up?
They just make fun of my friends. Just make fun of me.
Right. Good friends.
They're like, "Oh, big Hollywood guy, you can still hang out with us."
That's awesome, man. Hey,
and
listen.
I sent that my town is playing it, and I sent the guys a thing. I said, "Hey, you guys want to go see it with me? I'm gonna go at like this time." And they're like, what, no red carpet? They're like, what do you...
Nick, we won't take up too much more of your time, man. I got one final one for you. In the movie, it talks about, you talk about your best friend Abby, right? Can you tell us just a few seconds? Can you tell us a little bit about your best friend that you had growing up and how he helped you through some of those times of adversity?
Yeah, well, Abby Mestre is like a pivotal person in my life. And I actually met him when I was a little bit older in like the real story. But the impact he had on my life was like, I've known him my entire life, and he was so close with everyone that knew me. And really, he was like one of the most important people in giving me confidence and really teaching me to relax. I was really like pent up about a lot of things, and I was nervous, and I had like anxiety, and I expected to like all these things, and I wasn't, when I started wrestling, I wasn't very good, and I worked really hard. I had a friend, Pete Pennsylvania. He also actually passed away, which is unfortunate, and he encouraged me to wrestle all year round, and then I wrestled all year round, and I was good, and then I expected all these people to like expecting something to me, and I fell short at States my senior year. And I went, after I graduated, I went to college, and I met Abby, and he was a little older than me, and he kind of took me under his wing and taught me a lot of things about wrestling, but not just that, just things about life. And for like the next almost 10 years, me and him were like inseparable. We did like a lot of things together, and we trained together like every single day. I remember I was making my pro debut, and I had weird hours at my work, and he would meet me like at the strangest hours to help me get ready. He was always like 15, 20 minutes late, but he would still meet me. And it's the impact that he had on my life is forever changed me. And I still keep in contact with his mom, and they did justice by it. You guys did a great job in doing justice to his life and his character, and how important he was in my life for me to become who I am. When I wouldn't even, I don't know if I'd be where I am today if it wasn't for him.
I'm glad that you brought that up. I lied to you. I got one last one with you. Cameron Matthews, who plays Abby in the movie, is sitting right here with us. Do you have anything you want to say to him about his portrayal of your best friend there?
I honestly think he did such a good job, and I get a little choked up when I see, even though it's him and it's not Abby, but the fact that he's on the screen and he's getting honored is like more important than anything that happened with me in that movie, and I think back and I think of all the good times we had, and I think about like, this is kind of sad about like carrying his casket and stuff like that, and it makes me like really emotional. I think about where I was. I know where I was. My coach actually called me up. Jeremy called me up to give me the news. He's like, hey, I was in Las Vegas for a fight related thing, and he was like, Nick, I don't want to ruin your trip, but I don't want you to find out on the internet, and he told me, and it's maybe like the most I've ever cried in my life. I didn't even leave my hotel room unless I had to.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. So to see him like immortalized like that in the film is like, it means a lot. And you did a great job, man. You should be proud of yourself. And I think that you'll be getting a lot more roles after this.
You can, if you can talk, you can talk. But you can talk back to him if you want. That's some high praise, man.
Hey, what's up, Nick? This is cameraman. That is, that means a lot to me, bro. I never got to meet you, man, and obviously I never had the pleasure of meeting Abby. But this was not something I took lightly. This was somebody who I respect dearly. I respect your story. You're a badass, and what you just told me right now means more than what anybody else can say. I don't care what happens after that. I don't care what goes on with this movie. Obviously, I want this movie to do amazing, and it is. But what you just said right now, man, was, as an artist, is what you want, and it's what you look forward to. And thank you for saying what you said. It was a honor and a privilege to play this role. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The only thing is they left out is how much of a ladies' man he was.
Wait, Nick, you didn't get that, man, with the bike? Remember when I was talking about the bike and I was looking at it, I was like, the ladies dig the bike.
Yeah.
Prequel. Come on now.
There you go, man.
Nah, thank
Nick
you, Nick.
Newell,
I appreciate it, man.
Notorious Nick is the movie. You'll get a chance to check it out. And it was an honor to have you, man. It was an honor to watch the movie and see your story unfold. Mark, who's a friend of mine, was talking about this. He had a lot of passion when he was telling me about it. So I know this was a big passion thing for him, a big passion project. And to hear Cameron talk about it as well, I know it was passionate for him. So thank you so much for your story, and thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And obviously you guys are plugging the movie, so I don't have to. I know it's going to be a big hit, and it's going to lead to a lot of great things for you guys. So congratulations, and thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah,
All right, man. Appreciate that. Nick Newell right there, who is the subject of the movie Notorious Nick, which you can check out in theaters. You can check it out on streaming. We'll get you all the information, and we're going to take another quick break, and then we'll be right back right here with Marcus Allen and my man who just probably is not able to even speak now.
Man.
Cameron Matthews, who is a fantastic actor in the movie. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Yeah. I'm be honest with you, Carl. I'm probably not going to get over the music part of it. I'm just the first time I'm using this music on this.
This is sick music, man.
I know.
I was just going to say.
I know. You don't have to say.
Okay.
You should say it.
So,
but the reason why.
Am I going to say or no?
No, I don't want you to say anything.
Okay.
You're doing just fine. They're nodding.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a very expressive nod.
You do.
Yeah.
Welcome to the big show here. We are here with Marcus Allen. We're here with my man who's finally now back to, I think he's back to good. I think he's back to good.
Yeah.
Cameron Matthews, who plays Abby in the film Notorious Nick. And we have producer of the film on the phone right now, Mark DeSalle. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Where you, Mark?
I am great. How you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. So we have a running bet going right now to talk about who actually saw this story first. Was it you or was it somebody else? How did this happen? How did it come about?
It was actually my buddy Howard Bird. He saw a picture in the paper of Nick Newell, winning the championship, and he sent to me. He said, "Wow, we should do this movie." I said, "Well, let's talk to him and see if it's worth doing." I mean, we got on the phone with Nick, and he sold us immediately that this is a story that needed to be told. a great inspirational story, and also the fact that Bloodsport was his favorite movie of all time.
That's right.
It didn't hurt either.
Yeah.
That's been a running theme. The distributor. It's our favorite movie of all time.
So we just got together. We hired writers, and when we actually did a labor of love with this film.
We watched it. We had a chance to screen it last night, and I didn't know exactly what to expect. I'm an MMA fan, so not only for me when I was watching it, the MMA part of it, the action part of it, gripped me. It was good. It was authentic, but the story behind it, all of the emotional stuff, the story with his mom, the story with his best friend, with his coach. I thought it was all very well balanced. Who comes up with those kind of decisions to make sure that the movie is flowing properly like that? I'm guessing it's probably someone like you who's done movies and has been successful your entire career, right?
Yes, me and also my producer partners. We worked on this thing for a long, long time, and then every day, we constantly changed the script and we added scenes when we needed to. Like I said, it was truly a labor of love. We put our heart and soul into it, and I think that's why you feel the emotion. I think all the scenes that are left in there, the actors did an incredible job and performances on making them seem so real and true. And they were based on facts, but still they pulled it off.
We just got through talking to Nick Newell, and he just got through saying that he loved the way it was done. And as we were talking to Cameron, who's sitting here with us, he gushed all over Cameron. So
we just got through crying, Mark.
Yeah,
it was truly
it was very emotional, man. So I think you guys knocked it out of the park with that one. Thank
you so much for that.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Anytime you ever need someone to kiss your butt, you just let me know, man. I got your back because Bloodsport's one of my favorite movies of all time as well. So, we know the name from earlier movies and obviously Bloodsport and everything else. Can you tell us, because I'm always curious to people that have been in the industry for a long time, what was your favorite movie when you were making it back in the day when you were making movies? The best one in your mind, the most favorite, the one you had the best time with making over your long career.
Oh, the one that I made?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's hard. They're like movies are like children. Very hard to pick your favorite.
I got my favorite sitting right here in the room with me. I pick her all the time.
Well, you know what? I gotta say, if I had to lean to one, it would certainly be Bloodsport. That was my first movie, and it became, an underground big success. So many fans today from it. So, and it affected a lot of people. I mean, people tell me stories how, wow, they moved to L.A. to study martial arts after they watched Bloodsport. The Gracie brothers told me, after Bloodsport, we thought of the idea for the MMA. So talk about a film having an effect like that it was one of the reasons the MMA was created. So these are wonderful stories to hear. Film impacts people in many, many ways. So we try to do inspirational ones.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to jump in, and this is so surreal. Sitting in Keith Brooks' studio, asking an entertainment question like I do for a living on the other side of the job. So, Mark, I love talking to you, meeting you on the phone, and then when I met you for the first time on the set, I got to see you in action, and I saw you come to life on the day. So let's say 10, 20 movies from now, 10, 20 years from now, when you think back or look back to the making of Notorious Nick, what's the one day that crystallizes it? The one day you'll always remember?
You know what? When the kids were brought to the set who had the disability, that really took me, to a whole complete level. When they wheeled in that one kid, remember, he had no arms, no legs, and you didn't even know how to greet somebody like that, and And the fact that he loves movies, and he was also saying how he loves Bloodsport.
It's true.
That, that's something that's very special. And that's the one thing I would say, besides all the fun and hard work and everything on actually making a movie, but that was one thing that was very special.
Mark DeSalle, producer of this particular movie, Notorious Nick, also Bloodsport, and others as well. We really appreciate your time. I know you're on your way to dinner right now. I was tempted to ask you what kind of awesome car you're driving, but I think that's your own business. I'm not going to even bother with it. But we really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for your interest in the film, and appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay.
There he is.
Mark.
And there is Mark DeSalle right there. How on earth did you convince him to let you be part of the movie, Mark?
So, well, I mean, truth be told, and I think they'd all jump in. So, Notorious Nick was a great idea. They brought me on as an associate producer.
Yeah.
But it started to stall. And most movies do. Like, they fail to launch, most of them. And it started to stall. And so I was in a meeting, and the Film Fund group was still there. And I said, I've got an idea for a movie that we could make on an infinitely smaller budget and a one-location shoot, which makes it simpler. Means you're probably going to land on budget, stay on budget.
Yeah.
They said, all right, let's do it. So we started making that movie, Apparition. Before we had even wrapped, we had a rough cut of the film because it was being edited through the dailies on the day.
Sure.
And the investor said, this is great. You guys can do this. What else you got? We said, well, we got this MMA movie over here. And they said, you're done. So then I got bumped up to be, equal favorite nation producer.
Man. Dude, I'm super
That's how
proud
it
of you.
happened.
I'm super proud of you, man. All right, because you've dominated this market for such a long time on TV and radio. I was telling the story to my partner here and to others. We were having a little discussion about your radio days, and then when you came back into radio. And you were doing radio again, and I was in the room right next to you. And I remember one particular day you were not having a very good day, and and you
Keith
and
lies.
I'm like, yeah, that's true. I'm not making this up, but for a fact,
All right.
I've taken some radio liberties with. And
You're telling the Hollywood story.
Yeah, and I'm sitting in the room at KSFM getting ready to go on the air, and I hear some like muffled yelling, and I open up the door and I see Mark up and down the hall, and I didn't know exactly what was going on, and then he goes back into the studio and shuts the door, and I'm like, what happened? And then I found out later it was just a discussion that you were having with one of the bosses.
Spirited debate.
Yeah, and I said to my partner, I was like, who in the F does this boss think he is talking to Marcus Allen, who's the godfather of radio in this damn town? And she was like, right? And I'm like, right? Like, what the hell? So anyway, that was good times.
I was pretty thick-skulled, and I was so jealous of you because I would listen to you. I would practically ear to the door and listen to your breaks, and I'm thinking, that's the guy doing radio and doing so good, whereas I'm like literally one wall away from you saying, that was coming up at 5:15, this. That was coming at 5:18, this.
Right? How can you mess that up, right?
I was messing it up.
Traffic on the tens. It's gonna be good. Oh my god, dude! Don't forget. Oh my god, what a garbage show radio turned into. Oh my god, it's turned into some crazy. Not that there's not a lot of lovely people working there. So anyway, all right, check this out. We're gonna take one last break, and then we're gonna wrap it up with a nice little bow talking about Notorious Nick, Marcus Allen.
If you ever do that spoogy thing you just did, don't point it towards the board. From experience, I will tell you, it sticks the keys.
Good point. No, that's true. I've been thrown out of some studios for that. So, Marcus Allen, Cameron Matthews, we'll be right back. Keep it right here. Hey, what's up? It's Boondock here with you, and I want to let you know about the Podcast Lounge EDH. We are a full-service recording studio, so if you have some podcast ideas, you have a creative idea, you want to come in and record that show, you can do that. You also have the ability to come in and do something similar to that if you're a business. If you have a business that you want to get the word out about, you can come in weekly, monthly, daily, and you can use our services. I will host it or you can host it, and then we will edit and produce it if you'd like to. Full service, 100%. Go to thepodcastloungeedh.com for more information. You can also see all of our shows on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube right there on the front page. Full service recording studio with audio, with video, and full editing and producing as well. The Podcast Lounge, EDH.com. Go check it out. Back at it.
This new intro, man.
Don't get used to it. The only reason I'm using this intro is because the other one cusses a lot. You know?
Awesome music. I just dropped some Molly right before we went.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I got
I'm
the
rolling, y'all.
the
glow
light
sticks.
fingers.
It's perfect, man. Yeah, I feel like I should be dressed in like a leather like thong. You know what I'm saying?
with the tape over your nipples.
I feel, you know how like some people I have songs that I want to play every time I walk into any room. I think it's Mickey Avalon, the Stroke song, you know, where he redoes the Stroke and Mickey Avalon. I want that song to play every time I walk into a room. I feel like Careless Whisper would be yours.
I've never heard it.
Of course you have. Get out. Okay. Dare you disrespect George Michael, bro? All right, listen. Hey, we just had some amazing guests. Nick Newell. We had Mark DeSalle on as well, and we have Marcus Allen. And we have Mr. Cameron Matthews as well from the movie Notorious Nick, which you can go check out. We're going to wrap it up here. Where is it that people can see the movie Notorious Nick?
Please Select these: L.A., New York. It's a beautiful theater in Beverly Hills, and then Country Club Center here in Sacramento.
Nice.
But it's a brand new theater, so I like that.
It is.
Streaming everywhere: Apple TV Plus, and of course Amazon Prime.
Dude, super nice. I wanna take a couple minutes for Cameron here because I feel like since I'm not kidding around, my daughter's in here as well. Who, by the way, is an aspiring actress, right?
Oh,
and she's a little on the shy side, but she is determined, just like she's determined to be a surfer, and she's a gangster surfer, right? So she is. So I said, I'm gonna talk to Mark. I know he knows some people. So next time you need a little extra, little stand-in or something, a little 16-year-old girl, that's going to be your girl.
September 14th. Save 10 days in September. What are you doing in September, Mr. Cameron Matthews?
Oh, yeah, I'm working with y'all.
He's in our next movie.
Hey.
Oh, are you?
Come on.
Sweet. What
Nice.
Can you talk about what movie it is?
It's Amy's Fuck It List.
Come on.
Oh,
This might be one of the only places I can really say what.
Oh, my God. I'm all ready. Who's in it?
Cameron Matthews.
Okay, it's not.
Hello.
It's not Amy Schumer, is it?
No, there's this phenomenal young actress named Alison Gorski that's in it. Just a stellar cast. If you see 616 Wilford Lane, our last movie, she's in that. She's great. And it's like Falling Down. Remember that movie?
Yeah, with Michael Douglas?
Yeah. So flip the script, only a young millennial woman.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what has she got to be pissed about?
You'll
Somebody shut my Twitter down.
Oh, you'll see.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I was going to tell you. I was going to give. I'm going to have everyone give their Twitter handles and everything else. But I was, and you said TikTok, and I got blown out of TikTok. They kicked me off. TikTok.
What happened?
Why am I not surprised?
You can only imagine, right? I don't know. Here's what I think may have happened. I made this video, and I wanted to make I take some snippets of the video. It is a video that my daughter's looking right at me. I made this video that probably is not very appropriate for anybody to see, but I put it in my private section, right? And then all of a sudden they said you violated. And I'm like, I didn't violate anything. And then I'm like, oh shit, I did.
Wait, was it that video?
Multiple things.
Do you remember that video I showed you?
That was that video?
That video. Yeah, bad news bears, bro. So yeah, we left you guys out. If you want to see it later, I will. You won't be the same. You will not be the same. You just think of R. Kelly, and then you'll know that.
How is your daughter such a class act?
Because she's awesomer. You know what I mean? She's just awesomer than me. So besides this next movie that you're going to be doing, Cameron, what else have you? What have you done, and what have you got coming in the hopper? Because after what I saw the other night, man. You've got to. You're going to explode. There's no doubt.
Thank you, brother. Real quick, can I? May I ask what your daughter's name is?
Yeah, go ahead. That's Isabella.
Isabella. So real quick, because he was talking about you being shy. Growing up in South Sac, I was the shyest kid with a stutter, introverted that you have ever met. I wouldn't talk to nobody. I stayed in the corner. Like, I was so to myself. It took a lot to get out of that shell. That doesn't need to stop you. If you want to be an artist, you can be an artist. You have to put your stuff out there. You got to take some classes, and you will learn to separate that part. And then eventually over time, you will learn like, oh, damn, I can still be my introverted self, but like, I don't need to be feeling like I'm not enough to like put myself on Front Street and get in front of everybody. Cause you'll learn that like, oh, I got talent. I'm special. If you believe in it, that's the main thing. So the shy stuff, don't let that stop you, because I was the shyest kid you ever could have met. So
I'm so glad you said that, man, because I try to tell her that, but for somebody who's actually in the business to say that to her means a lot, because she overcomes a lot of that shyness and just does stuff. But she's really working towards that, and I think that's a great message. Thank you so much, man.
Of course,
really
I look forward to seeing what you do.
Yeah.
I got a couple things. I just did a feature called Last Chance Charlene, directed by Tony Gapastone. We're hoping to get that into some festivals, Sundance, all the things. So look out for that. I play one of the supporting leads in that as well. I did a film in the Bay Area called Median, directed by Matthew Ryuta, and that's in the film festival scene right now. So like, it's an indie short film, but I got a couple of things. I'm working with this man. Anytime I get to work with this legend over here, especially,
oh come on,
you know, and I'm a Southside boy too.
Yeah,
so like this guy right here,
Yeah.
come on. And I got theater. I'm starting, you know, my foundation's in theater, so I'm starting that up again in 2022. A play called Passover by Antoinette Nwandu, who's amazing. Look into that if you want. Spike Lee actually directed it, and it's on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it.
Nice, man. That's awesome, bro. Well, like I said, I went in there, wasn't sure exactly what to think, saw it, loved it, and then I was very struck by your performance, man.
Thank you, sir.
So real talk. Yeah, go ahead, Carl.
Okay, cool. So like
the moron in the corner with his hand up.
Hi.
Carl, you know I want to put you on blast for the talk we had earlier, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh, please do.
Wait, what happened?
Man,
I forgot.
Y'all know, man. We had a whole discussion about you don't know
Kevin
who
Pollak
is. Come on,
Until you said A Few Good Men. Come
Dude,
on.
that's the other thing. Kevin Pollak's in this movie. Barry Livingston, and I asked him, you know who Kevin Pollak is, right? No, I don't know who Kevin Pollak. What the hell are you talking about? Like and he's from. In his defense,
I'm from Vermont.
He's from Vermont.
Okay.
Also, slow. You know what I mean? It's the nicest way to put it. But yeah, I've been trying to stay away from the bad words, but you're slow. Did you have a question?
I did.
All right, ask it.
So when you're like getting into a role,
yes, sir.
Like, what's your routine? Like, where do you go in your head, and like, how do you channel that into your art?
Thinks of you naked. Is what
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Even before I knew you, it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know who it was. I was like, who is this guy?
You're just so attractive.
No, that mustache. My God.
I know, right?
No, actually,
How many children have you lured into your van, you sicko?
I feel like that could get me arrested.
Yeah, really. Look into it.
Actually, every character I've ever played, including Abby, I have a playlist. I have a music list that I listen to, and then it's kind of it evolves over time. Even if I hear a song that after that character's already done, I'll add to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I it's a lot of time with the script. It's not really about the memorizing of the lines. You can get stuck as an artist sometimes thinking like, I have to say this and then this and this and then move here, and then you'll see on camera or on stage, you're like, man, I'm being a robot. Like, I'm not being a person. So like, you want to have those lines, you want to have all that, but you also want to like have a connection and talk, and just be present, be in this moment. Yeah, there's a camera there and some lights over there, but like, let's just, if you do something, I'm gonna react to it whether it was in the script or not. If Mark don't like it as the director, he'll come up and talk to us and like, man, don't do that.
Right.
But if he doesn't, then we can just play and remember where we are. As a professional, you got to know where your mark is and all that.
Yeah.
But it's really just about. I say it a lot, but being mindful and present in the moment, and that includes acting. You know, don't worry about what okay, I gotta say this now. No, just let's just talk. And I'm a feel, because I'm a human being. I'm a feel what you say, and let me feel off of me as well.
Okay,
and let's just have a conversation together. And I feel like that's the best way for artists and actors to really get into it. Don't try to like, okay, I got to do Meisner now and really be met like, nah, man, just you're a human being, right? You had emotions, you know how to do emotions. Let's do that. And then his job as the director is to be like, really concentrate on that and focus on that.
Yeah.
And, improv is great too, because then you can just play.
Right. Just have fun with it. Worst comes to worst, they cut it out.
Worst comes to worst, man. There's a lot of babies on that floor that you will never see, man.
You hear you picking up on all this, babe? You hear it? Yeah, good. Okay, good, because that's good advice. No, you don't get it. Mark, thank you so much for coming in, man.
Are you kidding me? I wanted to thank you guys. I mean, for coming out last night. I know it's no small investment for you to get down there, park, go see a movie. It just
$24 to park, by the way. So,
take care of that.
It was $24. I was like, what the $24? God dang. But no, it
means the world. Thank you.
No, thank you for having us out there. It was a great premiere. Dude, the audience was reacting so well. It was so cool to see it with people that that had parts in it and who were behind the scenes in it. And one of the kids who was the actor in it was sitting right in front of me. And to see him, I didn't get a chance to see his face, but I could see his excitement when he was watching it. And then everybody, all his family around him were like, giving him a hard time and like rubbing his head. Like, you're doing so good. I wanted to pat him on the back and be like, good job. But I thought it'd be a little creepy, so I didn't. So the energy was just awesome last night. And then, it really, I want to say this so that it doesn't get lost, because we joke around a lot, but it really couldn't happen to a better person, man. Seriously, Mark, you're a great dude.
Oh, man.
I love you, man. I seriously, I do. I love you. And
back to you.
We've been like buddies for like 20 years, and you've always had my back, and I'll always have yours. So I appreciate you coming in, man.
The non-assholes of the world got to lift each other up.
Exactly.
So thank you.
Notorious Nick. Make sure you go check it out. You can check it out in theaters. You can check it out streaming. And you want to pimp out your Instagram and everything real quick?
Definitely. You can get me on Instagram. That's like the main thing I'm on, at Cameron J. Matthews. And,
okay.
You'll find me on there.
All right, and then Mark's the big baller over here with a million people always jamming him up.
At TV Marcus Allen on Twitter. At TV Marcus Allen on Instagram. Marcus Allen Show on Facebook.
Yeah. He's at the blue check.
Coming up at 5:15.
Oh, they're all the 10s, man. Hey, why don't you tell him what your Instagram is, Carl?
Oh, Jesus, I don't even know if I remember this.
Like 9 people following me. I got like 9 friends. Oh, dude.
I have like 6 pictures on it, but it's
I know you do.
It's something along the lines of the Duke. I think 66.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's weak that you don't know, bro.
Can you tell I use it all the time?
I'm Boondock the Entertainer. That's real simple. I'm working towards that blue check mark one of these days, bro.
Get it.
One of these days. I just know. All right, Notorious Nick, make sure you go check it out. Thank you to the guys, and thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you next week. See you.
Awesome.
Peace.
Yeah.
Woo.